Good evening, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode of Critique Corner with me, Daniel Parker.
And me, DB Fastbinder. And, I guess our theme tonight is just B movies because we picked a couple of things at random from Netflix, and boy,
Yeah,
what a silly night we're about to have.
yes, we are. Yes, and if you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, what we do here is we critique stuff. Lately, we've just kind of just picking two movies that we just pick whatever we want to watch. Although this week we seem to have gone back to our old formula of something newish, and then something older or classic.
Hmm.
Because our first review of the night, as DB pointed out, with the silliness, it's the 2025 version of Anaconda.
Yeah, I mentioned in a previous review that I made an attempt to watch it, then gave up around the half-hour mark. Um, but I was subjected to enough familial pressure that I had missed the best part of the movie, quote unquote, that I decided to give it another go.
Yeah.
Um, so of course, since I'd already seen the first part while that was playing, I was actually screwing around on my phone. And you know what? I understand now what they mean when they say that Netflix movies are designed to be something you have on in the background while you're messing around on your phone.
Yes, because not a whole lot happens. Um, yeah, so this movie is basically it's not a remake, it's not a reboot or reimagining or anything. It's basically uh it's like a meta commentary on like on like
It's
on the whole process, I guess.
it's like if The Three Amigos was a sequel to a more serious movie.
Right. Yeah. Right. So yeah, like if Three Amigos was like a remake of The Magnificent Seven, an actual, or doing something along those lines. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
I'm trying to think of like if there's because it's basically about some guys who decide that they're going to make their own Anaconda movie and then go down to Brazil and run into a giant anaconda.
right. Yeah. Yeah. So the movie centers on our basically four main characters. Um, we've got Jack Black's character Doug, who is he's a videographer, works for a company that makes wedding videos or films, as he says. But he hates doing it because it's really boring and unfulfilling. Which, I mean, if I was in his shoes, I'd probably be feeling the same way. I mean, that would probably get really old after a while, making cheesy wedding videos, all the time.
Right, especially when he thinks he's an artiste.
Yeah. And then we've got Paul Rudd's character, Ronald Griffith Jr., or Griff as he's called. And it didn't dawn on me until like the next day after I watched this movie. Him being called Griff is applicable when you watch them, when you get further into the movie. Griff for grifter. Uh,
Mm.
I don't know if that was intentional or not. But yeah, Griff is a wannabe actor who's out in Hollywood. He gets fired from his new job playing Doctor Number Three on some hospital drama, and so he's walking along the back lot of this studio, and he sees so happens to walk past a poster of Anaconda, the 1997 movie with that had J Lo, and had Ice Cube, Eric Stoltz, who for those of you who don't know, Eric Stoltz, he was in a lot of movies, but he most famously was the original actor hired to play Marty McFly before he got fired. Um,
Well, at least he got to be in a movie about a giant snake, I suppose.
I suppose, yeah, yeah, or or a failed prequel to Battlestar Galactica. Um, but yeah, so then Paul Rudd, of course, they're all from Buffalo, and Paul Rudd goes back to Buffalo because it's Doug's birthday, and of course, Doug is married and he has a son, and of course, then we meet the other two friends. One of them is Kenny, who's played by Steve Zahn, who I've seen in a lot of comedies, although I haven't seen him anything lately.
Steve Zahn is like the ultimate. I kind of know that guy, but I don't know why. Because I don't think he's ever really been in anything where he was the lead.
No, he hasn't. He's always been kind of the yeah, he's always been the supporting guy. And then last but
He
not
has like
least,
these very wide eyes. It's like
yes.
and he's good at sounding stupid.
Yeah. Let me peek at his filmography real quick to see if maybe
Yeah,
I
I'm
anything
morbidly
jumps out.
curious now too.
Well, he was in
Oh,
one of
he
the
was in
9.
Sahara. Oh God, the one time they tried to make him
Oh,
big,
that's right. Oh, yeah, that's
which
right.
he
He
was
was,
actually pretty good in that.
yeah. He, yeah, he was. That's right. He was McConaughey's sidekick. Um, then let's see what else.
He was in the War for the Planet of the Apes. He was Bad Ape, is the only thing he's
Oh,
described as.
oh man, yeesh.
Um,
Yeah, he was in a lot of. Looks like he was in a lot of comedies in the '90s. Oh, he actually had a role in Crimson Tide, huh?
and,
Um,
and a bunch of voice acting stuff. He was in Phineas and Ferb in a
oh,
couple episodes.
yeah. It looks like he was in the. Let's see, he was in White Lotus, but of course I've never watched the White Lotus, so I don't know anything about it. But yeah, and then last but not least, in the to round out is the of course it's kind of the prototypical like, oh yeah, you got like a group of 3 guys and then you have to have a girl. Um,
Oh, Saving Silverman.
oh, Jack Black was in that one too, wasn't he?
Huh. Was he one of the friends? Okay, we're
Yeah,
going down.
yeah, yeah. We're going down a really
You're
big
right.
rabbit. We're going down a weird rabbit hole now. um, and then yeah, but then rounding out the cast is Tawny Newton, who plays Claire, and she's like the girl of the group. And from what it sounds like, the most financially successful of all of them, because she's the one who's when they all get together and decide that they want to make their own Anaconda movie, she's the one financing it. Um, and of course, the whole reason it kicks off is because Paul Rudd finds an old videotape of a like a short film that he and the others made when they were kids, and so they kind of got them inspired. And then Paul Rudd's like, they're all sitting in the diner talking about Anaconda and quoting the lines, and Paul Rudd says, "I have the rights to Anaconda."
Which is already a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch for a Hollywood, yeah, a struggling Hollywood actor to buy the rights to a film property from a major studio.
Like I remember on was it the show News Radio with
Yeah.
Stephen Root? There was like a storyline there where for like the rich boss bought everybody like a sports car for their birthdays,
Oh,
and
that's
one of the
right.
characters he like it looked like he just got him a CD of Fibber McGee and Molly, an old radio show,
That's right.
and he was like super bummed out, and then it turned out that no, the boss bought him the rights to Fibber McGee and Molly because he
Right.
liked old radio shows.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that, okay, that in 1990, whatever, that's a more plausible thing for you to somehow rummage through intellectual property and buy the rights to.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. And because yeah, because I mean I've given some thought to like going through like some B movie, property and trying to buy the rights for it, but I'm like, oh man, I don't think I could afford it even if it's like some forgotten franchise from like a B movie producer. I don't think there's any way I could do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's already kind of built on a really flimsy It really should have been an obvious lie, but I was kind of so busy cringing out that I didn't even think about it.
Oh yeah,
Because like I'm just gonna like say right up front, like there are moments in this movie that work comedy wise. A lot of it is very much uh, well, that was a thing style comedy. Like very, and I get the whole concept of the movie is meta, so it's kind of
yeah,
like it feels weird to complain about the comedy stylings being too meta, but here we are.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. If there's one style of comedy that really needs to die, it is the well, that's a thing or that happened.
Right. It's because you can have a good comedy about meta things, but I think we kind of need like a moratorium.
Mhm.
Um, like, just an example is when they're sitting around the table talking about their fond memories of the movie Anaconda, and yeah, and like talking about all these. Well, let's be honest here: Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, the guy who wasn't Marty McFly. This is not really a it's not really like a murderer's row of good actors.
No, no. Well, I mean, well, I will say too. John Voight was in it as well.
Right,
That's
but that's like the the exception, right?
right.
The,
Yeah. Well, he's
so
yeah he's the prestige actor that you hire for an indie movie to give it some legitimacy. Yeah.
right, or your B movie.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and like I feel like there was a way to make that joke more funny than they managed, but they couldn't quite do it.
Yeah. 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 Because then as soon as they get down there, it does turn into the whole. Oh, they're in the movie now, because they not only do they have this giant anaconda, which looks like a prehistoric, like the just judging from the size of it, which help me out, DB. The anacondas don't get that big, do they?
No, so I think the measured limits are somewhere around 20 feet or so, and there are
Yeah.
rumors periodically of ones that are 30 feet. Uh,
Mm,
crazy thing, there were actually snakes probably about as big as what was portrayed in the movie at some
yeah.
point, called the Titan boa.
Uh,
Um, but it's not like there's anything around remotely like that today, if only because what the hell would they be eating that would require them to be that size?
a lot of cows, I guess.
Yeah. Going after caimans and gators and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
know. Yeah.
but yeah, so they get out there and they hire a woman named Anna to be there. I should say a woman named Anna who is on the run from the law. We kind of
Yeah.
missed the whole.
Oh, yeah. That
Actually,
whole.
we don't know that
Yeah.
she's on the. Actually, no. It's vague early on who is who at the zoo.
Right. Yeah.
So you
Yep.
think
Yeah.
that she's initially like a good, like she's kind of in the right because at the area where they're filming, it happens to be a spot where there's illegal gold mining going on.
Yes, and the chemicals from the gold mining are seeping into the water and contaminating it.
Oh God, it just occurred to me. Is that the explanation for how there's a 60-foot snake?
Oh, that
Like,
might be.
I don't think they
It's
ever
like
like, directly call that
it's
out,
like
but
yeah. Oh yeah, that's like oh god, that's like alligator. And that which is kind of along the lines of this movie where the alligator that gets flushed down the toilet and then it becomes this super creature because it gets exposed to chemicals and it's massive. Uh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
exactly.
don't know if that's true in this case, but yeah.
Eh, It's not
But
implausible.
yeah, so then not implausible, but but yeah. So this woman Anna, she oh, I just caught that on Anaconda. Huh. Um,
Oh, you're right.
but yeah, so she basically hijacks their boat, and and then of course, yeah, they get caught up in the whole subplot with because they, the gold and the law enforcement and everything. And then there's this. Well, we also forgot to mention the snake handler. So
Santiago, played by
Santiago.
Sultan Mello.
Yeah, and he has his own pet anaconda that he just there's like a he treats like a son, and yeah, and he like dotes on him and everything. And even though it's a vicious man-eating snake, and
Okay, he is actually Brazilian. I realized that on the one hand, it sounded like he had a very put-on accent. But then I said to myself, DB, do you actually know what a Brazilian accent sounds like? And I realized I didn't have a point of reference for that.
yeah. Well, yeah, I could tell he was, because I and well, never mind. Not important. But yeah, he. I don't know. I don't want to know how spoiler heavy we want to get with this.
So we usually go at this from the perspective of how much do we think that the audience would enjoy this movie, or is this worth somebody's time? I think after giving it two tries,
and
it's not especially.
Yeah, I didn't think like the comedy really
You're cutting in and out.
didn't. Yeah. Oh, I am. Oh,
Yeah.
am I okay now?
All right. I think so. Let's go ahead and try again.
The comedy really didn't. The comedy was okay. How's that?
Yep, you sound fine.
Okay. Yeah, my internet's been acting kind of wonky lately. But yeah, like there were a couple of parts in there where I chuckled a little, but I didn't, I wasn't like rolling on the floor laughing. And like it fell into the trap of a lot of comedies, which is that the climax was really silly and stupid. Yeah. So.
Yep. Yeah, like the best scenes in the movie are like physical comedy scenes. Like there's a bit where they accidentally throw the pet anaconda off the boat and it gets chopped up in the propellers, and it's so audacious that you kind of do smile a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably the funniest bit is they think that Jack Black is dead at one point, so they tie a pig to his back to make it harder for the anaconda to swallow him to buy them more time.
Yeah.
And
then they stuff a squirrel in his mouth.
Yeah. Like Steve Zahn's character is like, snakes love squirrel meat.
Yeah.
Like it was just stupid enough that it kind of tickled my funny bone a bit. Also, they do the thing where the ending of their movie from the start of it mirrors the Anaconda. It mirrors the how they end up dealing with the Anaconda.
Yeah.
Also, Paul Rudd's character never is punished. Like we don't think we actually said this explicitly. It seemed implausible, but yeah, he was just plain lying about having the rights to Anaconda, which as far as lies go, is that like okay, there's a lot of leaps of logic there. Like okay, you don't have the rights to Anaconda. Why not just say, remember how much we loved Anaconda? Why don't we go make our own snake movie?
Yeah.
You don't have to have this liar revealed plot, because spoiler alert to what I kept being told was the best scene in the movie. So they're on the river, and a whole bunch of boats go by, and they find out that they are from Sony shooting a remake of Anaconda with the original cast.
Yeah.
Now, okay, it's like just from my perspective, without forcing a bunch of character drama for no reason, it could have actually worked just as well if they were trying to shoot their own snake movie inspired by Anaconda and then lose hope because they're making a real Anaconda movie that's going to beat them to market.
Yeah.
And have the name recognition. Like so then they have to decide how to deal with that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But that is not what they did.
Nope.
Yeah. But
also at the end of the movie, like they apparently make a movie starring other people to play them, which is still called Anaconda, and it's like them making the movie.
Yeah.
But they still like lose a lawsuit to Sony because they still didn't have the rights to Anaconda. And like I've seen multiple comedy movies about making movies where the ending is like somebody making a movie based on the process of the making the movie because it becomes more interesting. I can't
Yeah.
think of what it is right this second though.
Oh yeah. Uh, wasn't Jack Black in that one too? I can't remember.
Oh, Tropic Thunder. That's the
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so they aimed for probably the best comedy that Jack Black was ever in, and stole the ending to that, and didn't even do as nearly as good of a job of it.
No, yeah. Yeah, because at least that one had a John Voight cameo in it.
Yeah,
And hey, Arcos, good to see you.
yeah, man.
Yeah, and yeah, they played that song multiple times in the movie.
Yeah. Not the Nicki Minaj version, which if this movie had been made 5 or 10 years ago, they absolutely would have.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ugh.
Um, so yeah, I don't think this is worth your time. If you do decide to turn it on, the experience of watching it with a phone in your hand is actually superior before I start paying attention to it.
Yeah,
Because if you do that, you just look up every so often when somebody shouts or there's an action scene with the snake, and and a lot of like the bad dialogue just washes over you,
yeah. Hmm.
which is the Netflix way at this point. So
Yep.
oh, also I forget if I mentioned this. Also, the best part of the movie was when Ice Cube is there, and he has survived the attack that killed everybody else. Because of course the snake goes after the film crew.
Right.
And it's like, in what way is this the best part of the movie? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
because it's Ice Cube and he's there?
I guess. Yeah. And then they take a selfie with him, and then he tells them, don't post it, and then they end up posting it.
Yeah. And there's like a joke about, Jenny's fine, she's from the block. That was probably the best line.
Yeah, yeah. And he's stole something from the block.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I guess I can see where that would be a highlight of the movie now that I think
Yeah.
back on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good line. That was a good little line in there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so like it's very mediocre to not great, and I would say that there are better comedies on Netflix. Like, is Spies on Us still on there?
I no,
Or did we? Oh,
I
no, we watched it on Tubi. That's right.
yeah,
Go watch Spies Like Us on Tubi
on
for free.
TV.
You'll have a better
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Um,
Indeed, yes.
However, Daniel did something that I don't entirely understand the appeal of. He went out and touched grass over at Disney World.
Yes, I did. Yeah. So yeah, so yesterday was the first day, and then so it's today and tomorrow. Uh, the okay, well, let me back up a little bit. So for those of you who don't know, Soren it's a pretty popular ride at Disneyland and Disney World. Soren opened at Epcot about 20 years ago, and it's quickly become a favorite for the park goers, myself included. It's one of the more relaxing rides at Disney World because all you're doing is, so you see the lines of seats there. You sit on the seats, and there are three rows of them, and then three sections. And when the ride starts, it takes you up, and you're kind of hanging, slightly, a few feet, well, more than a few feet above the ground, but you're belted in. You're not going anywhere. And you're in front of a blue screen, and it's a projection, and it shows you're soaring or flying over like different landscapes and or landmarks and monuments and things like that. The first iteration of it was soaring over California, which because it started at Disneyland and then they took it to Disney World, and you're flying all over the different California places. And then they revamped it to soaring around the world, and you're flying over all the different monuments from around the world, like the Matterhorn in the Swiss Alps, the Eiffel Tower, Taj Mahal. You fly over Fiji, that kind of thing. But the new version of it, which so this last weekend and today and shoot, okay. Annual pass holders got to do the preview, and I went yesterday, and it's now Soaring Across America, and it's basically just it's like the other iterations, except you're flying over different American places. And it's so like you start off, you actually watch one of the Artemis rockets take off from Cape Canaveral. And then you go to Manhattan or New York, like New York, you fly by the Statue of Liberty, and then you see Lower Manhattan. And then you go to a lot of other different places around America, like Mount Rushmore. You fly over the mall at in Washington D.C., the National Mall, and then I'm trying to remember where else you go. You go to like a lot of different other places, like the Grand Canyon, and the other thing they do is they pipe in a bunch of artificial smells. So like you smell like pine, you smell like citrus, and all kinds of stuff. And it like I said, it's not a very it's not a thrilling ride, but it's like I said, it's relaxing. It's really cool because you get to see all the different monuments. Of course, it's CGI, but it's still, I think, decent CGI. And what got me though was it's very patriotic. It's definitely a celebration of America, which is a little surprising given Disney's recent history. But part of me wonders if they aren't trying to get some people that they've been alienating for the last 5 or 10 years back to the company. The other thing too I really liked was so the introductory video that they always play before the ride, where it tells you, okay, you got to sit down, you got to put your seatbelt in, you got to take off your hats, and do all this stuff, and all of that's done by Patrick Warburton, and they actually brought. Oh yeah. And what's so funny is when you go and see watch the video of him. Of course, it was done like 20 years ago, so he's 20 years younger. But they brought him back to do another introductory video. Of course, he's much older, and he's got a cap and he's got a mustache, and he says, "Well, welcome to Soaring Across America. I'm Captain Patrick, and to go over the important safety information is this young handsome devil." And then they cut back to the old video of him. But yeah, I mean, it's I think it's a good iteration of the ride. If you've been on it before, it's nothing you haven't seen before, nothing expected. But I think it's a fun bit of little fun ride to go on always. And like I said, it's relaxing, and you don't have to it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy where you're going backwards and spinning around and going really fast, or Test Track where you're looping around. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, I definitely, I always recommend people go on this ride if they ever find themselves going to Disney World. It's usually, like with my family, it's the first ride that we go on when we visit, because we always stay at one of the hotels by Epcot, and we just, and it's in walking distance. But yeah, I mean, if you ever find yourself in Central Florida and you go to Disney World, definitely go on this ride along with Guardians and others.
So just to confirm what you were saying, so you said this was a preview, so you don't really have an idea of how bad the lines are going to be on it.
I don't. Usually before they changed it, I mean, it's usually probably be around like 30 or 40 minutes. But with this new change, I mean, it could be like an hour maybe at the most. Just because it's there's still some novelty there. The wait times haven't been too horrible at Disney World lately, mainly because park attendance has been down a bit. But yeah, I mean, I will imagine for like the first couple of months or so, the wait times will probably be on the high side, but it'll probably even out and it'll probably be like a manageable 30, 40 minutes, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like actually I haven't been to Disney World in 25 years. 30, 40 minutes. That's like is that a relatively low wait time or?
It's mid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask, but I mean, yeah, it's for me, it's mid. Like for our family, like anything more than 40 or 45 minutes, we're like, I don't feel like waiting for it. Um, but I mean, there's some rides though that like I mean I remember like Rise of the Resistance, which was the Star Wars sequel trilogy ride. I mean that one is still really hard to get on. Like I've seen that wait time be like 90 minutes. Although when it first opened up, it was like 4 or 5 hours. So you know it's hard to say. Yeah.
Okay. So there might be a spike. I can't see this being like Splash Mountain or whatever.
No, it's not. No. It was a really popular ride for a very long time, but I think some of the novelty kind of wore off. That might be another reason why they changed it up. Was just to keep people going because they do need more. Like Epcot does need more rides. I mean, I yeah.
Right. And also if you have something to draw people to Epcot, as I recall, there's like a lot of gift shops there and other
Oh yeah.
attractions, and it takes some of the strain off of the big rides.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they got the World Showcase, which is where like that's where a lot of the different countries have their pavilions. And I will say at night, you don't want to go there with your kids because it kind of turns it's a bit of a bar crawl. Because everybody's going around drinking all the the different alcoholic beverages that are served in all the different countries. Um, Although I will say though, the Japan Pavilion at Epcot is one of the better ones there. Probably maybe the best one there because they put a lot of attention and detail into that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's also uh, like a Benihana type restaurant there. So.
which that's always a good time.
Oh yeah,
Okay. So for anybody watching this who's interested in going down to Disney World specifically for this ride, maybe give it a month to cool down a little bit.
yeah. I would definitely wait until. Well, I would wait until the end of the. If you, I would avoid coming here in the summer because it's
All right,
barely.
muggy.
Yeah, it's very muggy and unbearably hot. Um, but but yeah, but I would say, but if you do, yeah, like wait a month or two maybe before. Yeah, I don't know when. I don't know when it officially opens up completely, but yeah, but when it does, yeah, just wait a couple of months before it for the novelty to wear off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, well, speaking of hot roasting places, we watched Hellboy for the first time in ages.
Yeah. This was, I think, one of my first Netflix mail-in DVDs that I did. Because I didn't see it when it came out in the theaters. I don't know why, it just didn't really interest me.
A lot of people didn't, and this is one that was saved by DVD.
Mm.
In fact, let me just pull up the numbers here.
Yeah, because well, that would explain why they did it. Able to do a second one.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So the original Hellboy had a production budget of 60 million and a worldwide box office of 99 million.
Mm.
which that's a flop territory.
Yeah.
But because of the different movie market back in the day, they made up a lot of that on DVDs, and there was like a special edition that I had at one point, and so
Yeah.
they were able to just keep re-releasing this. And honestly, I think the home theater might have been the superior environment for this thing.
Yeah.
Um, so basic premise of Hellboy. He is in the closing days of World War II.
Yes.
A young British researcher named what was it, Bloom, right?
Sounds about right. Yeah, Broom. Yeah.
Broom, that's it. Been watching too much anime, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, played by
John Hurt.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
the guy who the alien burst out of his chest.
Yep. So you got slightly more dignity in this movie.
Yeah.
But so John Hurt is they're raiding this Rasputin. Yes, that Rasputin who survived the attempt on his life and joined up with the Nazis to pursue occultic research. And by cultic research, I mean, this is basically just Lovecraftian. Cool.
Yeah.
And in the course of a knockdown, drag-out fight with said National Socialists, a grenade goes off, and by the way, there's some bad special effects. There's some good special effects in this thing. There's some very bad special effects in this thing. Like one of them was like how a grenade made somebody just fly off in a random direction.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not how it works.
But their interference caused, instead of opening up the portal and letting out the squid baddies into our world, instead Rasputin is sucked into a portal, but while the hole was open, Hellboy came out as a small monkey-like being.
Yes, and Broom ends up adopting him, and of course he ages very differently than humans. So by the time we get to him in the modern day, he's basically the equivalent of being in his 20s, even though he's played by Ron Perlman, who at the time of making the movie was, I want to say, in his 50s.
Yep. Which explains why he had a crush on Selma Blair's character. Let's all be honest here. I think everybody would have a crush on Selma Blair.
Yeah.
So the basic premise is that the bad guys are trying to use Hellboy's unnaturally large right arm, which is a key to unlock it's basically like a biological version of a device that Rasputin had been using to try and open up the hole to the other universe.
Yeah.
So Hellboy, to take a step back, it's directed by Guillermo del Toro, and it's based on a Dark Horse comic book by Mike Mignola, who honestly at this point is basically known for Hellboy because he's been working on it consistently since the 90s.
Yeah.
The wild thing about it is that it was launched as part of like a Dark Horse Comics was trying to make their own superhero universe. It's like they had the Next Men by who was the artist for that one? John Byrne, which of course was like it was like a dig at the X-Men who he had left behind at some point in the 80s. Like he was, and I guess some other creators doing things. Hellboy is really the only one that stuck, but it's very funny if you read the original comic because there are some nods to other superheroes existing in that world. That basically are nowhere in this movie, but I just find it funny. I think one of the remakes they tried to do of this one had some references to that, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
So the comics are somewhat different from the movie. Because, in my opinion, the comics get by on their art style and mood more than the stories themselves being especially interesting.
Mm.
Like I had like 5 volumes of it back in the day, and I wanted to like it so much because I enjoyed this movie and like the character and everything so much, but I just it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Mm.
Um,
I did like the little commentary there where they had the comic book and he's like,
yes,
I don't like that. They never get the eyes right.
yep. Yeah, so like Hellboy has been working for the government this whole time as a anti thing that goes bump in the night agent
Yeah.
for the BPRD, the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Development.
Yes, and the guy heading it, his name is Tom Manning, and he's played by Jeffrey Tambor, who has been in a lot of stuff. I remember him as George Booth Sr. from Arrested Development. Um,
What's funny to me about Jeffrey Tambor's character in this movie, and that like I am probably one of the only people who actually watched Muppets from Space, is that Jeffrey Tambor basically plays an identical government agent stooge in both movies. And I had seen Muppets from Space not too long before I saw this one.
uh,
It's like the connection was not lost on me.
yeah,
So here, also rounding out this cast, we've got Doug Jones as Abe Sapien, this fishy-looking fellow up here,
yeah,
uh, who is a water-breathing man who they found in a cistern somewhere.
yeah. And he doesn't get a whole lot of screen time in this movie, but they kind of made for up for that in the second one, if I remember right.
Yeah, like, I think it's because of the deal is that he can't breathe air. So like to be out and about, he has to be in a special wetsuit,
Right.
like
Yeah.
like a reverse scuba suit.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then
he, but I would say like him being around not very often does make his moments more memorable because he's kind of a not quite. He's kind of the C-3PO of the movie, just with dignity.
yeah.
Like he gets to quip, he gets to make observations, he gets to be the smart one a lot of the time.
Yeah.
He's just not a fighter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and then rounding out the cast is John Myers, who is this new FBI agent who's assigned to basically be Hellboy's babysitter, and he's definitely one of these like very generic. He's almost he's the audience, I think, or he's the audience who's never read Hellboy
Yeah,
before.
right. He is there to have things explained to him.
Right. Yeah. And of course, he tries to move in on Selma Blair, which Hellboy doesn't like at all.
Yep. Because yeah, Hellboy has a bit of a crush on her, which the whole ages differently thing makes it not weird that he'd be interested in someone her age when. Uh, and Selma Blair's character is she is a fire starter, pyrokinetic.
Yeah, but she's got issues.
Yep. Like she
And
just has emotional issues, can't really control the fire that well.
yeah, and so she's in a hospital. Um, but Hellboy stinks out to go see her, and she keeps telling him, "You need to stop doing this," because he keeps getting in trouble.
Yep. And and the scheme is that again Rasputin is trying to manipulate Hellboy into helping him open up the portal. Um, and they have a variety of colorful enemies for them to fight. So,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to spoil this one because, well, spoiler alert for the end of the review. I think that this is worth a watch. Just you have to have the right mindset for it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. Um, I think my issue was that I don't know what it is. I had a hard time following the plot. It seemed a little disjointed to me. I don't know if it was just because I wasn't paying attention hard enough, or
I would say that the plot is it is like a classic 90s to 2000s superhero movie where it's almost more interested in introducing the hero and his world than the actual storyline. Like
Yeah.
Rasputin manipulating things in the background is the through line, but it does feel like a little random that they end up fighting a uh, this cool looking demon thing over here, and
Yeah.
then after killing it, Hellboy just decides to go randomly hang out with Selma Blair's character.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely would recommend it for people who, if you're like into comic book superhero movies, just from the standpoint of broadening your horizons. I I don't know. I mean, I thought it was decent. It's a decent enough movie. I don't know. It didn't really impact me the way that maybe it did for some people. I don't know.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the movie's defects and how much this will matter to you will depend from person to person.
Yeah.
It's like Daniel said, like there is a plot, but it's like it is much more interested in like the character focus on Hellboy's interactions with everyone.
Yeah.
Um, Ron Perlman, this is one of his better roles in my opinion
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
he brings so much personality to the character. Um, like just this sarcastic, I'm done with this feeling about all of his superhero work or his
Yeah.
secret agent work.
Yeah, yeah. There were a couple moments on there when like something bad's about to happen to him. And he's like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
Um,
But now I will say that some of the banter is a little generic. Like there's one point where he's wrestling with a demon and falling down a mine or falling down an elevator shaft. He shouts something like, "You lousy monster!" And it's like this couldn't have gotten a second draft.
yeah. Oh, that's the line you want to go with. Oh, okay.
And I suspect that a little bit of it, like, and this is something that I heard somebody observe, and like once you hear an observation and it's true, you can't unobserve it.
Yeah.
Um, so uh, Guillermo del Toro, Spanish is his first language. Might like, and some of the dialogue does have a slightly tin ear to it.
Mm,
Like some of the things that are quippy, it's like there was. I feel like there should have been a funnier line there.
yeah. 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 That definitely makes some sense to it. Yeah.
Although, let's see here, the credited writers are Del Toro himself, Mike Mignola. So that could have been some of what I don't really think worked necessarily about Hellboy, the comic book bleeding through.
Yeah.
Not worked is too harsh, but yeah. And then the other writer was a guy named Peter Briggs, a former assistant cameraman. Briggs sold his spec script Alien vs. Predator 20th Century Fox in the 90s within a day of hitting the market via his then agent, William Morris. And his writing credits are this movie and Thunderbirds Are Go, the TV series,
Oh boy. Oof. Oof. Okay.
which is a Amazon Prime remake of the old puppet show Thunderbirds.
Well, okay then.
So the dialogue feeling a little generic in places kind of makes sense. Like I would say that the actual character arcs they actually work well enough.
Yeah.
But like a lot of this movie's appeal is just in the audacity of some of the concepts in it. Like Abe
Yeah.
Sapien, he's cool. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a guy who was found in some sort of underground well or something. I forget what the specifics of it were. But like,
Yeah.
oh, he was named Abe Sapien because the date written on the wall was the date of Abraham Lincoln's assassination.
Yeah.
Or like this guy here, I always called him the Clockwork Nazi because he 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 is a German sadist who basically mutilated himself because he was addicted to surgery, and his blood has, quote, long since turned to dust. Like he
Yeah.
winds himself up with clockwork pieces. Like it's totally implausible, but it's so darn cool.
Yeah.
Rah rah Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine, as this sinister force in the background manipulating events to draw everyone together to make Hellboy give up on the world so that he'll open up the portal. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Now, special effects have not aged great in this. Like I will say that there are a couple of scenes with, say, the Clockwork Nazi doing his thing with his wrist blades, where you can tell, okay, you're nowhere near touching the people who you're supposedly cutting down.
Yeah.
Um, some of the CGI has aged very not well. Like when Rasputin is being pulled into the portal at the start of the movie, little globules of flesh are coming off of him, and it looks so bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They had the sense that when they're doing long or they're doing big CGI scenes of the eldritch horrors in the other dimension, they were cast in shadow mostly, which is like the classic we don't have a huge CGI budget trick, but it was effective.
Yeah.
On the good side, I will say that the Hound here, the evil demon that they're fighting through most of the movie, like very excellent design. Like he looks cool.
Oh yeah.
And like
Yeah.
the way he moves around is just perfect.
Yeah.
The other thought I had is that I feel like Hellboy was like the inspiration for a lot of TV shows and comic books and novels and stuff. Like I'll just there's a novel series called Monster Hunters Inc. by was it Frank Corietta? One sec, it's been more than 5 years since I read that book.
Yeah.
Not Monster Hunters, the video game. That's the problem with having a generic name for your series.
Yeah.
No, not Monster Hunters in.
Yeah, I will say like the CGI kind of looked bad in places, but the practical effects I thought really held up well.
Yeah, like Ron Perlman's Hellboy makeup is good. I'm not gonna. I think it is Hank Corietta wrote it, but anyways, like there's just a lot of novel series, but with that kind of run with this idea of secret government organization where the people aren't too ordinary and they're fighting back against the things that go bump in the night. I want to take a spin on that because that seems so cool.
Yeah.
It also just occurred to me that kind of like when we reviewed Furiosa last year or the year before, that Hellboy would be an excellent setting for a tabletop RPG.
Oh yeah,
because you could make your own Hellboy or whatever.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Anyway, what just kept hammering through my head as I was rewatching this for the first time with a more critical eye was this is such a B movie. It's a fun B movie, but it's like it's on a similar level as that Robot Jocks movie we watched a few weeks back.
Oh yeah. No, it is. Yeah, it is very much a B movie plot, B movie, setup and everything. Yeah.
Yep. Cheesy with a capital C, but it's such darned good cheese. So like I liked it. Daniel's more lukewarm on it. It's currently on Netflix, so give it a go. It's definitely better than Anaconda.
Yeah. Although I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah.
It's a low bar, but it clears it.
Yeah. And I will say it's better than a lot of the superhero movies that have been coming out from the last 5 or 6 years,
including Hellboy remakes.
Including although I haven't seen that one, but from everything I've heard, it's really horrible. So probably don't need to see it. But with that being said, I think we've said what we needed to say for tonight.
Indeed.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, ring the bell, all that good YouTube stuff. Buy a book or some books. And we will not be on next week for certain, or the week after that, because both of us have things going on for the next couple of weeks. But we may, I don't know, we may do something like not next week, but the following week, maybe like try to find a day in there somewhere. Well,
Yep. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yes. Well, yeah. Follow my Twitter here, because that's where I'll usually post updates for the channel. So, but anyway, that being said, night, everybody.
Yep. Good night.